Hello everyone! Welcome to the Mattoon Corner. It's been a while since I've done one of these unscripted kind of videos. The last one I did was for Nintendo Switch a couple months ago. But now we're back and we're here talking about Sonic Forces, the brand new Sonic game revealed only 2 days ago actually. Now I've mentioned Project Sonic 2017 a couple times on the show, but I've never had time to sit down and properly talk about it. Until now, that is. Now, if you haven't watched the gameplay footage already, I recommend you do that and then come back to this video. So pause the video, go watch it, and then come back. Easy. You done yet? Okay, let's go. So right off the bat, the first thing we see is a level that seems to be a mixture of Crisis City from Sonic 06 and Spagonia from Sonic Unleashed. Now that's most likely not going to be the case, but there's no denying that there are influences from both levels. Also, this is the first time we get to see the Hedgehog Engine 2 in action. While the core aspects of the Hedgehog engine have remained, we can notice that some things have changed. For one thing, the boost itself has been completely redone. Instead of simply being a blue aura around Sonic, the boost now leaves behind a blue trail behind Sonic, fitting for the name the Blue Blur. You'll also notice that when he boosts, several speed lines appear across the screen, giving an even bigger impression of speed, which in my opinion is a very welcome change to simply being a motion blur. In my honest opinion, motion blur is a bit of a cheap way to get off the impression of speed, but that's just my opinion. It's also noteworthy that he only boosts after he collects White Wisp power. For those of you who don't know, Wisp were a core gameplay mechanic in Sonic Colors, which had returned for Sonic Lost World for God knows what reason. We may be looking at a more Wisp-heavy boost formula similar to Sonic Colors, however it's very early to say. For all we know, this is the alpha footage and they only put them as a placeholder. We can't say for sure yet. However, I am confident that there may be Wisp powers in this game. However, hopefully they won't be as prevalent as they were in Sonic Colors, because while I did like the game, I don't think Wisps are a mechanic they have to keep coming back to all the time. For example, there was no need for them to be in Sonic Lost World, they were simply there as a gameplay gimmick. So if they can somehow integrate them into the story, then maybe it would be acceptable, but quite frankly I don't want Wisp to be the main core mechanic of the game, or any future Sonic game for that matter. Now, from a visual standpoint, the game looks pretty nice. I've already touched the new boost aura, but there are plenty of things I haven't touched yet. For example, the new homing attack animation, new robot designs, and the background animations. We can see giant robots decimating the city, and we can see what appears to be blasters trying to hold them at bay. It's unknown yet, really. Now, I'll be blunt, some of the explosions here do seem a bit off still, but again, this is the alpha footage, or maybe the beta, I'm not quite sure. But quite frankly, there's still plenty of time for them to touch this up, unless it's going to be like Mighty No. 9's pizza explosions. But we also see later in the trailer that it's not just a city, the city seems to be melded together with another familiar zone, Green Hill Zone. Now this is very strange because Sonic levels are known for usually sticking with a certain theme each level. For example, the first level is usually going to be a green paradise basically. Green something, ocean paradise, it's usually very nature involved or ocean involved. This time around, they're mixing up two different level aspects, the city and the Green Hill Zone. While they probably won't be mixed up in some strange collage of city and nature, it's very interesting to see them doing this. I don't recall them ever doing something like this in a Sonic game before. Now, I could be wrong, and if I am, please correct me about this, but I am genuinely excited about this. Another thing that I'd like to point out is that Sonic feels a bit slower and faster at the same time. Now that seems weird, but let me explain. When Sonic's boosting, I don't think he's ever gone as that fast before. Unless, of course, you count Sonic Generations with all the upgrades, but that's beside the point. What I mean is that his boost seems faster than ever, while his normal running speed reminds me of Sonic Adventure, actually. And the way he controls also vaguely reminds me of that. One thing I always had a gripe with the boost formula is that Sonic basically only moves straight. And I've also never really liked the 2D sections of the levels. And while Sonic Generations definitely did improve that aspect, it just feels like this game, I don't know, to me it feels like Sonic is going to be a bit more liberal with his movements. I don't know, I just get this impression. I don't know, I might be dead wrong and I might be the only one seeing this, but I honestly do think that he may be a bit different to control than previous games. Not too different, he still is familiar boost formula we all know and love, but also something a bit more akin to Sonic Adventure. At least that's a hope and something I'm getting an impression of. So, yeah. There are plenty of other things to get from this trailer too, like an awesome soundtrack, obviously because of Sonic, but quite frankly there isn't much else to talk about here. I'm sure someone out there is going to come out with an amazing analysis of this thing, but quite frankly I'm not that kind of guy. I will say this though, I am genuinely curious about what the story behind those giant robots. They seem to be based off the Def Egg robot, but with some obvious design changes. According to Sega, the story is that Eggman's already won. Sonic has finally lost, Eggman has conquered the world, and now Sonic has come back to fight. And while they've only announced that there are going to be only 3 playable characters, I am genuinely curious about the game's story, and how it ties into this theme of forces. It actually makes me wonder if every level is going to feature some giant Def Egg robots destroying everything while Sonic's trying to stop them. It's a thought really, because think about it. It might be like the central theme of it, all of them having to fight against a different section of Eggman's giant empire. It's very interesting. Also, this third character is going to be probably one of the most debated characters. Once they release him, or her, who knows, the internet is going to start debating about this character, whether or not it's going to be a crappy Sonic clone, or someone actually interesting. Because Shadow, well, he's one of the most popular characters in the entire Sonic series. I honestly don't like him all that much. I mean, he's a cool character, I like him, but he's not on the top of my list or anything. This new character is going to be... I don't know, it's hard to say. First of all, we don't even know what this new character might be, or what he might play like. Sega is keeping that incredibly close to its chest, and I actually applaud them for doing that. It increases hype, and it makes people genuinely interested in their product. If the new character is anything like Blaze, like she was in Sonic Rush, well, maybe not just like in Sonic Rush, because she was basically a copy of Sonic, and just with a couple of new... just with a few aesthetic changes, then, well, yeah, I'd be a bit bummed. But here's hoping that the new character's gameplay is going to be just as fast-paced as Sonic's. And Classic Sonic's too. We haven't seen any gameplay of Classic Sonic yet, but we can be almost certain that Classic Sonic is going to play just like he did in Sonic Generations, albeit with a few tweaks. Maybe they revamp shields or add new shields, who knows. So yeah, that's all I have to talk about it. What do you guys think? I was hoping personally for like a new trailer or something, like a new proper cinematic trailer including more story, but at least we got to see how the game looks properly, and or at least how it might look, because we don't know if this might change or anything. So quite frankly, I am really excited for this game. And here's hoping that Sega will see to make this game a very great one, to hopefully put Sonic back on everyone's mind. Because Sonic, well, first of all, it's not fun just to hate on Sonic for hating him anymore. Sonic has had good games and they're fun. Lost World, for example, I've played it at a friend's house. It's not a perfect game, but it is a fun game. But the boost formula really is a formula that works and makes people enjoy the boost formula. It literally is Sonic in Next Generation. So here's hoping that the new game will finally put the stop to the Sonic haters, even though I find that very difficult. But here's hoping that Sonic Forces will be the game that everyone's excited for. Well, that's all the time for today. Till next time, everyone, and remember to be cool and be creative.